May is always the calm before the storm for me, with numerous events and showcases coming up in June, and who knows how many titles dropping in the months after because no one wants to go up against Grand Theft Auto 6. That doesn't mean it isn't rife with releases though, with several big names and blockbusters, not to mention some notable indies. Let's dive into the 15 biggest games of May 2026, starting with Forza Horizon 6. Almost 5 years since we bade farewell to the Horizon Festival, but this time it returns in perhaps the most anticipated location in the series, Japan. Relaxing drives through avenues of sakura trees in spring, frenetic toge battles down winding mountain roads, or just hanging out at the Daikoku, showing off your vehicle to all and sundry. That's only the start. Forza Horizon 6 offers two major avenues to cement your legacy: exploration, gradually defogging Japan and discovering aftermarket cars, or racing through the ranks to become a Horizon legend. Beyond everything else, however, it's your journey. Fill up the scrapbook with memories, outfit your garage, and build out a base. The choice is yours when it launches on May 19th for PC and Xbox Series X and S. Directive 8020. Say what you will about the thing, but it reinforced a deep space fear that continues to resonate through gaming, that someone on your crew isn't who you think they are. Cue Directive 8020 from Supermassive Games, which focuses on the colony ship Cassiopeia as it crash lands on Tau City 5. Things take a turn when a horrifying shape-shifting organism begins hunting the crew. Compared to previous Dark Pictures entries, there's a bigger focus on stealth and combat, not to mention carefully discerning who's who. Don't worry if you choose wrong though, since Turning Points offers a do-over. Directive 8020 launches on May 12th for Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PS5. And after such a long wait, we're ready to be terrified. Motor Slice. Between monsters, robots, zombies, and everything in between, who would have thought that construction equipment could be a threat? That's the premise of Motor Slice, which is all about P and her chainsaw-wielding parkour self as she battles these massive threats in a post-apocalyptic world. But then there's the megastructure, a winding, brutalist space that goes on forever. With its minimalist art style and unorthodox premise, Motor Slice could serve up some hack-and-slash platforming goodness when it launches on May 5th. Will Follow the Light. Unreal Engine 5 and adventure games go together about as well as, well, just about any other genre, honestly, but Will Follow the Light has a different aura about it. In a way, it reminds us of The Vanishing of Ethan Carter with its atmosphere, except you're controlling a father who embarks on a journey to return home and find his son. It's a tough ask, especially when traversing by sea, crossing mountains, and confronting the ghosts of the past. Maybe it could be a dark horse in a gorgeous narrative adventure. Maybe not. Either way, we'll find out on May 7th. Luna Abyss. A game after my own bullet hell-loving heart. Quali Labs' first-person shooter sees you banished to prison on Luna and tasked to venture into the abyss for some forgotten technology. Enter the cosmic horrors, which aren't known for being deep sleepers, or quiet dreamers, unfortunately, and you'll have to slowly unravel the mystery of Greymont, clinging on to sanity the entire time. Having thoroughly enjoyed Saros and Metal Eden, I'm keen on diving into Luna Abyss and its crimson-tinged interiors when it launches on May 21st for PC. Bubsy 4D. Bubsy is officially back, and no one is safe. Launching on May 22nd across every platform, Bubsy 4D sees the orange furball embarking on a new 3D adventure across 15 new levels. And it looks not bad. Pretty sleek even, right down to the legally distinct rolling around at the speed of sound ability. While the prospect of the game as a meta-commentary on Bubsy's reputation is interesting enough, this looks like a genuinely compelling 3D platformer. Color us intrigued if nothing else. 007 First Light. You only live twice, as a world-famous 00 agent once said, and thanks to IO Interactive, we'll have the opportunity to look at death through the eyes of a younger, brasher, less cynical James Bond. First Light sees him enter MI6 to earn 00 status, but amid the charming arrogance is a desire to prove himself, and maybe surpass his limits. The building blocks of Hitman are all here, exquisite sandbox environments with numerous opportunities for stealth, but Bond goes beyond Agent 47's capabilities in every way you'd expect. Parkour, sneaking, bluffing his way past guards and staff, clever usage of Q's gadgets, and, when License to Kill is active, gunning down anyone that stands in his way, with an array of weaponry and CQC tactics, and just straight up throwing empty guns at an enemy's face. All's fair in the world of Super Spies when 007 First Light launches on May 27th. Thick as Thieves. A new stealth game from Warren Spector and Paul Neurath, whose credits include Deus Ex and Thief respectively. Say less. Its alternate history 1910 city and procedurally generated mission layout, which encourages quick thinking and improvisation, initially left us skeptical due to the PvEVP element, but that's been changed to focus more on single player and co-op, delivering an experience befitting the Thief legacy, as you hone your skills to become a legend in the business. Thick as Thieves is available on May 20th for PC. Deep Rock Galactic Rogue Core. Have you ever seen all the Deep Rock Galactic praise, heard all the calls of rock and stone, but could still never really get into it? Maybe a roguelite spin-off will do the trick. Entering early access on May 20th, Rogue Core focuses on the Reclaimer Squad, which the company calls in when there are some serious threats. In every run, you'll need to make use of any weapons along the way while battling the core spawn and improving your skills. With how much work has gone on since its October 2023 announcement, one can only hope that Rogue Core lives up to the original's brilliance. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Nintendo hasn't necessarily managed to recreate the magic of Yoshi's Island, but the Mysterious Book could be a cozy, easy-breezy platformer, much like Yoshi's Crafted World. The premise this time involves venturing through the pages of Mr. E, where Yoshi meets different creatures, harness their abilities on top of the usual gliding, egg hurling, and sprinting that the series is known for, and voila! Hopefully, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book launches on May 21st exclusively for Nintendo Switch 2. LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Freshen up on your knowledge of the Dark Knight, because Batman returns to the video game world on May 22nd. Granted, it's LEGO form, but Legacy of the Dark Knight is going out of its way to pull from every single piece of Batman media in existence, from multiple Batmobile types to the bizarre Batmite outfit. If that vast open world of Gotham coupled with the Arkham series' free-flow combat wasn't enough, there are 7 other characters, including Catwoman, Nightwing, Robin, and more to play as. Zero Parades for Dead Spies. Yes, it's not exactly all that appealing considering the whole ZA/UM business and how the original Disco Elysium creators were ousted. There's really no getting around that particular detail. Still, if you're in the mood for something in the same vein, albeit with an espionage bent and exerting yourself as operant Herschel Wilk caught up in a conflict between 3 factions, Zero Parades may suffice when it launches on May 21st for PC. Better Than Dead. Body cam first-person shooters are no longer all that new of a concept, but embarking on a quest for vengeance in Hong Kong, hunting down targets while ensuring no one ends up like you, that immediately skyrockets Better Than Dead for us, and the obvious influence of old-school Hong Kong action films just adds that extra bit of hard-boiled grit. It enters early access for PC on May 12th. Darklight Survivor. You swap between first and third person in Resident Evil Requiem, but how about top-down and third person? Or even between realistic and pixel-like visuals? That's one of the many quirks of Darklight Survivor, a roguelike survival where you venture on the Phantom Train, venturing through a terrifying multiverse, gathering resources to keep the engine running. 2 maps are available when early access launches on May 15th, alongside artifacts, persistent upgrades, weapons, and more. It may be all about the destination, but right now, the journey of Darklight Survivor is shaping up into something intriguing. Withering Realms. From the developer behind the unsettling Withering Rooms comes Withering Realms, where you control a creepy doll ferrying a ghost as they venture through Pennywell, a town where surely nothing horrible resides. Bloodborne is obviously the first influence that comes to mind, but the hack-and-slash action perspective and visuals lends an almost Nightmare Creatures vibe to it all. Withering Realms launches into early access in May, and surprisingly, will be playable from start to finish with plans for 1.0 to launch later this year. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.